Okay, my name is Aubrey Wilkins, and this is my project for the Renaissance and the Harlem Renaissance. So the people I chose was William Byrd for the Renaissance, and then for the Harlem Renaissance, I chose Kay Calloway. And the songs that I chose, the song that I chose for the Harlem Renaissance was Minnie the Moniker by Cave, and then the song that I chose for the Renaissance was Tristine by William Byrd. His song was Conjunct, the melody was Conjunct for the Renaissance, and it was disjunct for the Harlem Renaissance to me, in my opinion, and then it was duple and quad because it was more beats in the Renaissance. And then the texture was homophobic for the Renaissance because it was like a lot of people voices all at once, and then it was heterophonic for the Harlem Renaissance because it was like a single melodic line. And the dynamics of the song for the Renaissance was mezzo piano and mezzo forte because it was like soft and then like loud. And then for the Harlem Renaissance, the dynamics was mezzo forte and mezzo forte and just regular forte, like loud and just moderately loud, just loud. And the text was pneumatic to me for the Renaissance because it was like the way the notes were, they weren't like sublative, like they was like, it wasn't like happy birthday, each note didn't have its own tone. And for the Harlem Renaissance, it did, so that's why I put for that. It was a climax in both the Renaissance and the Harlem Renaissance for the songs, and it was instruments in both. And the tempo for the Renaissance, was Adagio and Largo, and then for the Harlem Renaissance, it was Moderato and Largo, because this one was like kind of slow, and then it got like faster, and this one was just kind of like the same speed. This is my biography, like a little thing for both of them about them. So for Cade, for the Harlem Renaissance, he was born December 25th, 1907, and he died November 18th, 1994. He was an African American singer, a band leader, and all-around entertainer. At a place called Sunshine Cafe is where Cade first learned how to sing. It was said that he was an understudy for a singer named Adele Hall. And this is where he met Louis Armstrong, and he taught him how to sing, and it's like scat style. And I looked it up, and it did say Cade was married to a lady named Betty in 1928, but then he divorced her, and then in 1949 he married another lady named Nuffy. Her nickname was Nuffy, aka Nuffy. And it's said that they had 5 daughters, but I did look up trying to find about his other kids, and nothing really came up about the other kids. I only got information on 2 of his daughters, because the rest of them, I don't know if they didn't put it out on the internet, but it was a long time ago, so I couldn't find nothing for them. But for the other 2, I got their names. One was Chris and one was Cammie, and Chris actually was a girl. She wasn't a boy. And then for the Renaissance, I picked William Byrd. He was born 1540 in the UK, and he died July 4th, 1623 from a heart failure. I didn't put that on there, but that's how he died. In Stony Massey, that's where he died. It says William Byrd was best known for his madrigal, and it was believed that the only instrument that he even knew how to play was a lute. Like, I looked up, did he know how to play any instruments, and they were saying he only knew how to play the lute. It says William Byrd was married to a lady named Julianne, and they had 3 children. Some sources say 3, some say 7, so I don't really know. But I did look up some of his kids too, and I couldn't get a lot of information on them either. So that's all I got. And then one of his daughters' name was Elizabeth, and the son name was Christopher. I don't know about the other child. They didn't come up. He had 3, but I don't look up to find information on the first one. And where he started to like begin music, or like what made him like music, is when his brothers were like in a church choir at a church called St. Paul. Like back in the day, he watched them like perform and do music and go to classes, and that made him want to do the same thing. So then he began doing what they did and joined the choir, did the music, went to classes. That's how he became who he is. It says he also became a student of Thomas Tales, who was like another like musician back in the day. He became a prominent composer and studied composition with him. And in 1563, he began composing literature music. So that's how he met him, and he got into music. And he started learning more about music, and now that's how he got to where he was back in the day. This is the classification chart. This was about the Harlem Renaissance and the Renaissance, and I had to pick 2 people for the Harlem Renaissance, and I had to pick places, things, and ideas. So I'm gonna tell you how they was different. So the people were different because the music, the people were different because their style of music was more like jazz than the Renaissance. The Renaissance wasn't jazz, and they were the same. The people were kind of the same because they expressed their social identity through the music. Like I listen to a lot of songs, you can hear them talk about. I can kind of figure out who they were through what they were singing, or at least how they acted. And then the places were different to me because one was more like a neighborhood type of place, and the other one was like a Florence type of place. Like the neighborhood, I looked up all the places, the churches and stuff. Theirs was more like a welcoming type of, and theirs more like a upright, like a Florence type of stuff. They were similar because they were both like creative. Like the streets were kind of did up, not like it all kind of expressed something. That's how they were kind of similar. And then the composers were different because the Renaissance mainly focused on like religion. The Renaissance was more religion, and their music tied to religion. Harlem wasn't really to religion; it was kind of just like expression. For it, if that makes sense. And they were kind of similar because they expressed their beliefs, their culture, and just expressed themselves through music. Even though that was more of Harlem Renaissance, but it was still like expressed through both of the songs. Yeah, I meant to say Renaissance, but I didn't say Renaissance. Like this is for the Renaissance. They were similar because they all expressed their beliefs, culture, and expressed themselves. Even though it was more Renaissance just doing that, but it still was in both of the songs. And the identities of the Harlem Renaissance and Renaissance were the same, and they were the same and different. The Harlem was more African American identity, and the Renaissance was more like European type of expression. And the Harlem Renaissance was more African American identity, and the other one was more European. But this one was more like culture and religion, if that makes sense. Well, they expressed more culture and religion in Renaissance than they did Harlem, but they both expressed culture and religion, so that's how they are similar, even though one did it more. And they are different because the Harlem was more African American identity, and the Renaissance was more like European culture, if that makes sense.